Hey guys, it's Jennifer Don Gabiola, and as promised, I'm going to start sharing these videos. Um, as you know, for the past first quarter, I've been dealing with my unexpected kitchen remodel, and I've received a lot of lessons from it that I feel actually really divinely inspired to share this video series um, to share what I've learned, but I feel like it can also be applied to your life, but especially your business as an introverted entrepreneur. So I don't believe you go through things for no reason. So I feel led to share my experience with all of you. So I hope it serves you. So like I said, just to give you a quick backstory, back in January, I had a pipe burst in my kitchen. And what that meant was I had to my whole kitchen was tore up, and I haven't had a functioning kitchen since then. And it's wrapping up in the next 2 weeks. So at the end of this video series, I'm excited to share the big reveal for what our new kitchen looks like, which is great. But it's been a process. It's been a real freaking process. And so not just the physical mechanics of getting the remodel done, which is my first remodel, but this remodel is very symbolic of what I've personally been going through internally, spiritually, like how I've been being asked to revamp and reset, restart, redo my own self. And I can tell I'm letting go of a lot, and things are shifting. And when I claimed that my word of the year for 2019 was renewal, this was no joke. This whole situation was a big catalyst for that. And I didn't realize really at the time when the word renewal really landed for me in the beginning of the year, I didn't realize how much letting go would be required, how much the fact that process required a lot of it's a rebirth, but there's also there's a death. There's things that you have to really let go of in order for you to operate in a different way. So my intention in sharing this video series is sharing these life lessons I'm learning it's still a process, but I've gained so much wisdom that, again, my hope is that it helps you moving forward, especially with your business as an introverted entrepreneur. So the first topic, I'm kind of playing around with the idea of calling these kitchen confessions. I'm not really sure. But anyway, just keep watching out for these videos, because I'll be sharing them starting today. And like I said, all the way until my kitchen is done in the next, hopefully, honestly, fingers crossed that this ends next week. So, but we're in the home stretch. So, all right. So how this is going to be structured is I was really tuning into how to share this. And I feel maybe kind of walking you through my process, what actually, almost like a story of how I actually got through this long tunnel. And now I see the light at the end of it. So the first topic I wanted to talk about in this series is, oh, thanks, Leslie. Yeah, I love the word renewal too. It just felt light and fresh. It felt relevant now. And on top of that, like I said, there's a lot of letting go that's required, a lot of surrender. So, okay, so for this first topic, I'm calling it, you can go into your shell, but don't live there. You can go into your shell, but don't live there. So as an introvert, we need regular quiet time, right? We need time to retreat and recharge in our shell. And we have to allow ourselves the space and the grace to be there and know when to come out. And so this is actually my coming out. Me being in my shell for so long is actually a bit longer than I normally would like. But again, this process required it from me, so I went with it. So I wanted to share just some things I've learned in this process. So first, as an introvert, give yourself permission to pause. So for me, I'm a doer, so I can really get ish done. And so I actually realized being in my shell for so long that it was kind of hard for me to give myself permission to slow down for such a long period of time. because I wanted to keep doing things to be productive. But I want to like reflect to you that I'm finding that for me to serve at a deeper level for my clients, my tribe, I have to give myself spacious time to pause and reflect, and to know that resting and retreating and reflecting, that's actually a part of my strategy. Like I'm not actually doing, but that's actually I can feel in my spirit that's helping me move forward faster. I know I'm going to be even more impactful because I've taken so much time to go really, really deep. So that's the first thing I wanted to like encourage you, is to give yourself permission to pause. Like, don't feel guilty. If you need time or something comes up, if life comes up, life is actually, if things unexpected come up, you just have to trust that that's meant to serve you. So try not to like turn it against yourself and go, oh, I feel bad. I should be doing this. I should be doing this. Like, there's a reason why it's unfolding this way. So allow yourself the space and the grace to receive the hidden blessing, because that's a big thing I've learned with this whole kitchen thing. It's like, I didn't really want to be not as visible for the past few months, but it was required because, if you've never gone through a kitchen remodel, it's a lot. It's a lot to manage. On top of that, I'm growing my business, right? Serving my clients, taking care of my family, taking care of my health. It was a lot. I even shared a post in our group and in my newsletter that, to be honest, the past few months I've had highs and lows, like where it just felt like way too much. But a big thing that I've gained so far is that God put all of this on my plate in order for me to surrender. When I was praying on those days where I was just like, I don't want to do this, like I felt like I didn't know what to do. I felt like giving up. And when I prayed, what he told me is, there's a reason why all of this feels like way too much for you to handle, because it is too much for you to handle. You're actually not meant to handle it all on your own. So that's where the surrender came in. So I'm just like encouraging you, give yourself permission to, if you need to retreat in your shell, do that. And don't feel guilty about it. And then really take the time to reflect and really face what you need to face. And I'm going to go deeper into this as the video series goes on. I'm going to go even deeper on some of these lessons. But for today's video, for my share, I just want to kind of set the stage that as an introvert, you do need quiet time. And sometimes it's a few minutes here, a few minutes there, but sometimes going into your shell for a long period of time is okay, because sometimes you have to regroup and recenter yourself and not feel the pressure that you have to be a robot or a machine, because that's actually how I felt. It's like, if I'm not as productive, somehow I'm not as valuable, and I've done a lot of inner work around that, but I went even deeper this time around. Don't feel ashamed if an issue comes up again where you're like, oh, I thought I healed that already. Actually, you did, but it's coming back again. You can heal on an even deeper level. That's what I'm learning more and more, is you have to allow yourself to go deeper and deeper and deeper so you can receive more blessings, because that's the only way you're going to heal and actually make an impact, because the more level of depth you have, the more resonance you have, and the right people will be able to feel you because you're feeling yourself so deeply, right? So, okay, so give yourself permission to pause. Understand that when you recharge, give yourself as much space and grace that you need, right? And don't feel guilty. And if something unexpected happens that actually is the catalyst for you to retreat, just accept the change. When all this chaos happened to me, at one time I was just like, why is this happening? It felt chaotic, but I had to just trust. I had to just surrender to the change. So surrender does not mean defeat. It just means you're allowing yourself to just go with what is actually happening, because you trust that there's something deeper. There's a hidden blessing for you to receive. And then, okay, the last part of this is that here's the not tricky part, but the challenge is that when on one hand you give yourself plenty of time and space to retreat, so you feel safe, you feel grounded, you feel reconnected with yourself, you feel renewed. And there's a place where you have to discern with true honesty toward yourself if you're staying in your shell way too long. Because I've seen it in me and I've seen it in my clients where it feels really comfortable to be in your shell. It's like, oh, I'm good here. I don't have to face the world. I don't have to be visible. I don't have to like face any more stuff that I don't want to. And that's the true testament of a leader. Hi, Heather. Good to see you. I'm happy you're here. That's the testament of a true leader, is that you lead yourself. So you have to discern and you have to know when it is time for you to rest and trust that God will take, what is it? I heard Joel Osteen, when you rest, God goes to work. You have to trust that when you rest, things are still working in your favor. And when you feel in your spirit, it's time to move. Like for me, I can feel in my spirit, it's time to move. It's time for me to get out of my shell and actually be more visible. But now that I've released so much about like feeling productive, it's like I've deepened my relationship with what productivity and success looks like. So now when I share a video, it feels, I'm getting goosebumps. It feels lighter. It feels like this is something I need to do, but not from my ego. This is actually, honestly, I feel really moved with this video series to tell you the truth, like, and maybe be a little bit more raw and more direct than I normally will, but it's not, I feel less afraid to speak the truth because I'm letting go so much of like this people pleasing pattern, you know, that I've had. I've let go like so much because I've recognized in my spirit that God is using me, and it's important for me to show up and to worry less about, oh, I wonder if they like me, or I wonder what they think of me, or it's more about, I feel called to show up and to share what's coming through me in this moment, and to speak the truth and to speak from my heart. And the right people will feel it. The right people will feel it because it's coming from such a true and real place. It's resonant now. And if it feels, what I've learned, if it feels alive for me in this moment, that means there's other people ready to receive it. There's people ready to receive it. It's in the ether and it's ready to be received. So I hope that helps you, to encourage you to give yourself permission to retreat into your shell. As an introvert, you need quiet time every day. And hold yourself lovingly accountable to come out, because I can feel, I've noticed this with my clients and myself. What is happening now, there's a shift in the energy where all of us are being called to actually step forward and step out, but not from a logical sort of masculine way of how we used to do things, but more of an allowing, trusting your instincts, not overthinking, and sharing and showing up from a place of like service and lightness, because there's a lot of things that need to come out and that need to be expressed that your people need to hear to help them make their life better, to help them solve their challenges. You know, like for me, I know like my background, like what God called me to do is to help introverted leaders, you know, make a big impact with their brand, what that looks like with their strategy, what that looks like with their design, what that looks like with their personal presence, with their style. But God put that calling on my heart because he decided, you're the perfect person to do this. You're the perfect person to do this because you can talk to introverts in a way where they can relate to the struggles and the challenges of being an introvert, right? The fact that we take in so much energy, we have to have clear boundaries, all of that. Like, I know deep down I have a very gentle spirit, right? And I can be very fierce. But the fierceness, what the blessing that God gave me is that fierceness no longer comes from my ego. I don't have to like bully myself or push myself to be fierce. It's more like I have personal power. God gave that to me. And so I am answering the call and showing up and speaking the truth in service. Like I can feel, I'm showing up on video now. It feels less about me. Not that it was always about me before, but it feels less about me. And it feels more like what is wanting to come through me, what needs to be said. How can I help? How can I serve? How can I help other introverted leaders feel less afraid to show up, to be seen, to share their testimony, to be of service, to make their impact? How can I do that? How can I help? Because when I think about how far I've come, it's like a miracle. It's a miracle. I used to be very controlling, a perfectionist, very kind of skeptical, you know, but now I'm much more intuitive. I allow things. I have more grace. But like I had to go through so many challenges for me to receive the grace and actually become the person I am today. And so that's what I want all this to be said, is like for today's, I guess, lesson or insight that I'd like to share with you is that there is value with you going into your shell. Absolutely. You have to honor your energy. You have to recharge. You have to like go within and reflect. Just like with my kitchen, I just had to like have some time to recoup, you know, and I had a lot of guilt around that, but I just had to just surrender to the process. But now I can feel in my spirit, it's time for me to show up. It's time, because my spirit is now full. It's full where I can give from my overflow. It's time. But I'm the only one that can discern it's time, it's time. And I can also feel if I were to hold off and say, I'll do it tomorrow, or I'll do it next week, I can feel in my spirit that I'm trying to procrastinate. So you have to, again, be really honest with yourself to know I need this rest time. I need to recharge in my shell. And then you have to discern for yourself and be really honest. It's time for me to show up. It's time for me to show up because there's people out there that actually need to hear what I have to say, and that my voice matters. What I'm saying matters. You have to believe that matters. And then when you show up, you're speaking from not just your ego, who you think you are. Something bigger is coming through you. I feel it. I'm getting full body chills right now. Full body. So I'm hoping that you also, for those of you here live, I appreciate you being here live, and the people watching the replay, I hope you feel what I'm saying, because I'm speaking it as I feel it. You know, I can feel like God is saying, just speak from your heart. Just speak from your heart and speak the truth. And if it triggers people, it's okay, because what I'm willing to do is be seen and share what needs to be said to help you move forward, to help you rise, right? So today, I just wanted to that was really the topic for today, is just give yourself plenty of space, recharge in your shell. There's value in being an introvert and having that shell to feel safe and to feel grounded and reconnected. And you have to hold yourself lovingly accountable to know when it's time to actually step out of your shell and actually share, but not from a place of ego, but from a place of personal power. Your voice, because you feel solid, you feel full, because you've done the work, you're doing the work, you're giving yourself what you need to feel full. And then from that full place, you give from your overflow. And that's what's happening here for me. And I'm hoping that my experience is going to help you as I continue to share these videos. I hope that it really helps you to ignite something in you to say, I can do that for me. And if you need help, I'm here, you know? So if this resonates with you and you want to connect, I'm offering complimentary discovery calls. If you need help just getting clear on your next step, if you need help moving through any sort of blocks to help you, you know, get on your path, let me know. You can send me a private message or email me at info@dawningsoul.com. And like, I'm happy to help. So I appreciate you ladies being here live. Let me know in the comments if you have any questions, but I will be sharing another video tomorrow. So yeah, but like I said, it's all in relation to this sort of retreat period for me in relation to my kitchen remodel. But I've gotten so many lessons. Really, it's all about like grace. Like the fact that I've even allowed myself to receive lessons and become an even more deeper, more solid version of myself. I don't know. It's really miraculous, to be honest with you, because all of this requires so much like surrender and faith and trust. And so that's what I wanted to leave you with today. Just keep trusting yourself, keep giving yourself what you need, and just know that you only you know when it's time to actually be visible and allow yourself to be seen and to share your testimony. So tomorrow I'll be sharing another lesson to help you with your life and especially your business as an introverted entrepreneur. Would love to know your biggest takeaways. So if you want to share in the comments what resonates with you most, I'd love to hear that. And I'll be back tomorrow. And again, if you want to have a complimentary discovery call with me, you can email me at info@donnasoul.com or send me a private message. I'm actually going to be shifting the way I'm going to be scaling my business in a way. It just feels like it's time, so I'm going to be doing less one-on-one work. So if you want to like take advantage of these like calls to have custom personalized support, let me know, because I feel called to help you on your way. So thanks guys for being here. I really appreciate it, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye guys.